Problems and the challenges in business, yes. We need to be resilient. We need to be creative. We need to keep on learning and all that. And in that way, we need to tap on the right phone networks and even ask where you feel like you're lacking information. And that way, at least, we'll get somewhere. Thank you. Tap into the private sector programs. I'll give you the current one. I know most of the programs under PSFU are limited, but they are there. For the youth, currently we work project right now. Fresh graduates, yet to graduate, you can apply. It's online. Kindly, we were talking about evolving digital transformation. So this is where now we need to put our hands up to it. So if you have your phone and you're here and you're yet to graduate, you're a graduate at ETC, you can tap in We Work project, where this project connects the youth to different companies and they earn while they are doing their undergraduate programs. So you can apply and then you'll be called upon. And it's not only that, I know there are some youth. So besides We Work, there are some youth who are in this room, but they are doing businesses. We have different projects that are supporting that, mostly the ones in agribusiness. He talked about it, agribusiness, manufacturing, and agro-processing. So we have Invite project, it's running. So if you're into manufacturing and you're looking at exporting and all that, you can check it online still. It's a project that has a lot of funding. It depends on where you want to export and how. Are you afresh yet to export or you're already exporting? It both covers that. And then there is also START project for those who are into agro-processing and value addition. So all those projects, it's regardless of you, the women, men, so we can embrace that. And of course, PSFU, it goes beyond the different programs that are on. There is skill capacity building, there is networking, events that are always happening, where those who are looking for markets, supplies, and etc., where you can engage to. All those ones are free of charge. So don't start thinking that. I know most of us will feel like PSFU is for big people, but there are different programs for all of us, and we can tap into. That's why now I encourage everyone to use social media. And the good thing, now when we talk about networking, this is what it does. We all hear people from Kampala, LYRA, Fort Portal, and other areas, and this is one of them that actually can integrate our businesses. So the other question was like, how can I sell my house avocado? And maybe export and the venom part of it. I'll start with the venom. Justice talked about it. Kora Honey talked about it, yes. Through collaborations, and you can get good markets. And I might not be into that, but we can talk after here and see how we can connect. If you don't have it, it has market. It's rare, and then it has market. So much as someone now the power of networking and getting into all these sessions, much as I might not be in that same business, but I can know who is who in the business. So we can talk about it. Then for export, we need to know where you want to export to. Now that market research we're speaking about here is where it comes in handy. How much you need to know the prices in the market. Then how much can you produce each week, every day, each month? If the market is there, can you sustain the market? Do you know other farmers that are dealing in the same business, that in case we get one sponsor or one buyer who can give us money, then you can be able to connect all the household marketers in Fort Portal and supply. So let's first make research on that. Much as you like, and connect maybe a ton of household avocado in a week. But then how can you sustain that in case we get market?
The challenge that I've found is that people don't know what mental health is in Uganda. We still say, Tuli balalu, as my friend there said. Abo balalu, me I'm not a mulalu. But if you're to sit down and you analyze what mental health is, you'll be like, oh, I should also be an advocate. I should start telling people what mental health is. So the challenges we've got as we approach the learning institutions, some universities, some learning institutions, some secondary schools weren't receiving us. They're like, what is that? Now what are you going to tell us about? They're like, but do you know why your school is not performing well? Do you know what these students are going through? A few schools we visited last year, they were among the best performers in Western Uganda. Because teachers also understood the students. There is these students who, sorry, let me take a bit of your time. There is a girl who used to be silent in class. Performance was very poor. Teachers used to abuse her, you know, very stupid, because she would always be the last in class. But when we reached there, the child opened up and told us, this was a very beautiful young lady in senior 2. She told us that since primary 6, the stepfather was abusing her sexually. I have to sleep with you and I give you school fees. The moment you tell your mother, just know, you're stopping studying. You get it? So the child would go to school she couldn't concentrate because she knows every time she goes home, the stepfather is going to.
If you've not been taking honey, take it as a habit. Take honey, at least a spoon a day. Yeah, you will see the difference. Yeah. So my biggest challenge. Okay, I'm still facing that challenge, but along the way, I've not solved it, but I'm still working on it. I'm encouraging more people to go in beekeeping. Then we also have a challenge of climate change. You know, most people now are using pesticides to control other pests, but along the way, also bees die from there. And you know, bees are the biggest pollinators. So as they go to do their business, people spray. So if you're here today in this room, please let's join hands, let's join words, or let's shout together to those who use harmful pesticides. Then on top of that, of course, climate change does not only, it's not only affected by pesticides, but also tree planting. If you can embrace tree planting, then please, you're most welcome. Because without trees, you may not do much about climate change. Thank you. I'm a teacher by profession, I'm a banker by practice, but here I am in business. Yeah, it's not that it's a lawyer turning into a farmer. You still continue with your journey of law, but still you do farming, which is very okay. Yeah, me as in us at Kora Farmers, we only deal in honey. But of course, in my line, there are other people who deal with being. And by the way, to make a small note on this, in a chain of business, okay, business, especially in agro-business, it's a chain. You don't have to be everywhere. They talk about venom, you're there. They talk about wax, you're there. They talk about honey, you're there. They talk about the garments they use in harvesting, you're there. Or maybe you can be there, but when you're starting, get a niche. So me, I'm in honey processing, but I know people who deal in venom. Maybe I can always give you contacts, but I'm not in venom. Thank you.